Thanks for jumping in for another episode, guys. It's Conor Ahearn again, and we got Christian and Chad from Midnight Tint and Vinyl. We appreciate you jumping out over here. But I guess briefly, kind of jump into who you are and what you do.
Who I am.
What you're willing to talk about.
Sure. I mean, depends on where you want me to start from.
Well, you're a business owner here in the Michigan.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you're a business owner. Mm-hmm. You immigrated to this country, correct?
Yes.
So, I mean, I guess there's a few avenues we could start. We could, if you're willing to talk about the process of starting your business and perhaps relations to other things, and maybe even expand to, I guess the difference you might see in kind of coming to this country and starting a business versus being somewhere else.
Sure. So I can start from the very, very, very beginning.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
why not?
I was I'm originally from Iraq. I was born in Iraq, and my family and I, we moved to Libya when I was 2 years old, and I grew up in Libya my entire life. We were in the photography business. That's what we were doing. We had a Photoshop, a physical Photoshop, not the software.
Yeah.
And that's what we were doing. And then I got the opportunity to get my American visa. So I was like, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I'm definitely going to go.
Of course. That was at the end of 2012. I came in early 2013. And that's when I came in here. I was doing mechanical engineering. I was doing petroleum engineering back when I was in Libya.
Okay.
And I had 2 years left to finish. But when I got my visa, it was a really great opportunity. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll just travel and
kind of pick up anew.
Pick up, or maybe start all over, or maybe continue. I wasn't sure what the paths are.
You had a lot of options at that point. It was sort of a blank slate where you can sort of keep going however you want, or you can completely change.
It was a little bit different because I don't know how this schooling system works. So I had really no idea if I can find school that I can continue doing the petroleum engineering school, or maybe shift to a different one.
I mean, if you had to like start all over, I mean, you weren't sure if you're gonna still go down that path.
That's right. So I came in, and apparently there wasn't any oil school around, or not even close. So I had to look for other options. I've been always into engineering in general. I like the ideas. I like building things or just visualizing things. And so I started taking English classes because I had no idea how to speak English when I moved in. That's how I started. First, I took about 7-8 months of English classes, and then I started my mechanical engineering school. I did that for about 3.5 years, I believe, but I was going to school nonstop, 4 semesters a year. Full time, I was maxing out my credits. If it was 18 credits is the maximum, I was taking all that, and it was a lot of work. Going to school, try to focus on that, and trying to get good grades. So I really wanted to finish early because I wasted time, going to school overseas and then moving in. Doing the English or the ESL, English Second Language classes, and then doing the mechanical engineering because it was taking me so long, so I wanted to finish early. And a couple years later, I just started doing this. It just happened out of nowhere. I had no idea that's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
And
so were you wrapping your car first, or did you kind of think that you could help a friend out, or what was the first car that you kind of jumped into, I guess, because you were going down mechanical engineering and then vinyl?
Yeah, so this is what happened. I had different jobs, going to college, and I wasn't making money, and I wanted to tint my own car. I started with tint, and I wanted to tint my own car, and I really didn't have the money for it. I was able to get it done. I got it done at a different place, and for some reason the shades weren't the ones I wanted, and so I kind of I wanted to change the shades to make them a little bit darker, and I didn't want to pay again to get it done.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to do it on my own. Went on eBay, ordered a bunch of squeegees and razor blades and small DIY.
Just
kits.
what you kind of would start with, just to get it done.
Exactly. And there were some pre-cut templates online of window film, depending on the car you have, that you can pick, and depending on the shade you want, you can buy it. I bought that one and started messing with it. The first one didn't work out, so I went to a local store. It's called Metro Restyling. I bought some window film from them.
Yeah, they're great. I've been there.
Great people. So I bought some window film from them, tried messing with it. It didn't work out. I bought again, and then it worked out. It didn't look good at all. It was, it looked really bad.
I mean, it's an art. So, I mean, every artist has a lot of scrap material left over from
That's right.
projects.
That's right. So it didn't look good, but it looked okay. It looked okay. If you look at it, from 10 feet away, that's what I would say.
It was a 10-footer.
It's a 10-footer. Pretty much it's a 10-footer. So I rocked it for a couple of weeks, and my friends saw my car, and they asked me, hey, who did your tint? And I was like, I actually did it myself. And they were really impressed. It was a really dark parking lot, so they didn't see the details. So they wanted theirs done, and I was like, sure, I'll do it. That's fine. I gave him the price. The first person that was interested, I gave him a price. I had no idea. I mean, it was a really, really,
It was like material plus a little bit of time.
Yeah. So I got that first vehicle. It was a Honda. It was a Honda Accord. That was the first vehicle. And I spent 2 days working on that car. It was the amount of hours I spent working on it. It was unbelievable. I got it done. In materials alone, I probably spent 6 or 7 times the amount of what I'm charging, just in materials. That's how much material I wasted.
Wow.
Yes. And the customer, or my friend, picked up the vehicle. He loved it. Actually, he hasn't paid me yet, but he referred his friend, which it was funny. We talked about it later, and I appreciated that he actually referred a friend, and he kind of started my whole career. And I never asked him for the money, and we always bring it up as a joke. So
I mean, the first customer is almost a good faith charity anyways.
Absolutely. So I did the second one. The second one turned out great. I made a post online on Facebook, and he made a post on Facebook, tagged me, and pretty much that's how it started. Exactly, word of mouth. I started learning more, doing a lot more research, watching tons of videos, going on Facebook. There's a lot of window film pages online, exactly.
Forums.
Yeah, so a lot of professionals I can reach out to and ask them if I'm facing any issues. And that was in my parents' garage. It was a one-car garage. It was really, really difficult, especially when I first started. That was during the winter time, so it was extremely cold.
Michigan winter is not easy in the typical Michigan garage. No heat.
Oh yeah.
No insulation.
No insulation. Nothing. It was extremely cold. At some point, it was like 10 below 0 degrees outside, and the way the window tint works, or the insulation works, the process, you have to spray water or slip solutions before you apply the film, so you can't squeeze. Yes, so I was squeezing the water or the slip solution, and when I use a squeegee the water out, I squeegee ice. Imagine how cold the water is. Imagine how cold my hands get because of like they get wet the whole time, and I just wanted to figure this out, like how to get it done, how to lay it down. It was extremely difficult. Really long nights, long hours, just figuring that out. So from there, that's how it started. Just teaching myself every day, learning new techniques, new methods, just trying to figure that out. And,
so at what year did you start the LLC?
The LLC started in July of 2015.
Right on.
So it was about 4 years ago. That was July 2015. That's when I first started it. I was still going to college.
Yeah.
And that was the very first year. A couple months before that, which when I first started was like about 7 months before that. Then I decided on
Yeah. So were you
registering that.
like still like side hustle stage when you were like in your parents' garage, and then once you got your first rental location, that's when you kind of decided to make it professional, or were you kind of still trying to navigate that when you were like, I guess, deciding to go down that alleyway?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So it was a side hustle. Going to college, trying to get everything in order. It was really tough, especially going with all the classes I was, all the credit hours I was,
And getting like
doing.
probably zero sleep. And...
Yes, pretty much. So that year, the end of that year, it was in the fall semester, and I was doing my final exams. In the final, like during my final week, I just had the idea of that, hey, school is not for me, and I'm just wasting time. The idea just came up to me, and I just didn't want to go to school anymore.
Yeah.
I talked to my parents. Hey, I think I'm gonna take a year break, or maybe a couple semesters break, just to kind of figure out what I'm doing. Yeah. So that week, I just had no motivations to go to my exams, and I just had to, because I had to pay for them, and it's finals, and I studied hard for them just to to get there.
You were so close.
I was so close, and it was like really big classes, like Calc 2, Physics 2, like it was a lot of big classes. So it's about 17 credits, and I just had zero motivation. So I walked into every single exam. It was my final. I walked in, wrote my name, and walked out. I wrote nothing. So I failed all the exams. I actually still have. I still pay for the student loan still now. But yeah, so that was when I first started. I was still in my parents' garage. I didn't move into a professional facility until a year after. Mm-hmm. So I spent another year doing it in the garage, just by myself. Yeah. So it was a lot more difficult, similar environment, but more production.
And when you moved into the first shop, did you already have like an employee lined up, or were you still just doing it solo?
It was solo. So when I first moved in, it was November of 2016. So that was just about a year, close to a year and a half after I opened up my LLC, and a year after I dropped out. I did not have an employee. I didn't have any intention of hiring anyone.
Yeah. And now you've got what, 10?
Now I do, yes.
Yeah.
So I had no intention to really hire anyone. I just wanted more space, more professional facility. Just so I can attract the higher-end clients.
Absolutely. I mean, I could be doing freelance product design from a laptop in my, bedroom.
Yep.
But we're in my facility that obviously speaks to the same point.
Exactly. So that's how it started, and
At any point, did you consider going like, well, I've gotten pretty good at this. Maybe some other tint or vinyl company would just want to hire me, and maybe I would move up there or something? Or that just never even crossed your mind?
Do you mean before moving to my actual shop? Or?
No, just like while you were in just your garage.
Before you went to your first shop.
Was this just like you always thought, that was like your mindset, I was going to do this?
Yeah. That's a good question. A few people reached out to me that they wanted to either invest in me or in my company, or buy me out, or have me work for them, and I just had no intention.
Red flags all over.
Red flags. Nope. I cannot. There's no way. I'm like, I worked so hard for this. This is my baby. I cannot just give it up. So.
It's just so weird to go from not weird, but it's interesting to go from a mechanical engineering degree, which is kind of usually a position that you would work within a company. Mm-hmm. It's not a traditional degree for someone that's in an entrepreneurial venture. But I mean, here you are. You great success story of making that bold step. I mean, you might be financially paying for it, but it seems like it's working out.
It is working out. Should I have finished my mechanical engineering school? I think I should have, just to have it as a backup. You never know what will happen in the future.
Oh, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
always great to have a backup to fall back if you need something, or you never know. My business is very successful right now. It's one of the, I believe it's the fastest growing business in my industry in Michigan now.
I would say so. I mean, for those who are listening and don't either know personally, Chad or I, he wrapped my Huracan, and as soon as I got my Huracan, I was asking everyone who should wrap the rest of the car, because it came, quasi wrapped. It had the front bumper, the hood, and all that clear broad, and I brought it over to Chad after I think I had over 15, 20 people just be like, Chad's the best. Chad's the best. Take it to him. I was like, all right. I'm just going to take it to this guy I don't know, and everyone's vouching. So, and I picked it up, I think, 2 or 3 days later, and it's spectacular. I took that car right on a rally, and the film's protected it since then.
Awesome. Yeah. It's building the reputation, or having great reputation where people can speak about you or recommend you or refer. That's how it works. If
Exactly.
you're the best one out there, and you don't have any work to showcase your product or your service.
Your resume, portfolio, it's very polished at this point.
Absolutely. So it definitely helped a lot, and I really thank every person that refer me or my company to every person, because that's how it works, and that's how we, it's pretty much a referral based business.
Exactly.
You can look it up. You can look it up online, but that's how I've learned it before. If people don't know you, people will not buy from you.
Yeah.
People buy from people they know. And that's something kind of stuck in my head, where I gotta make sure I am known, not just known, I'm well known.
Yeah, and you do well with that with your social media, which is, something I definitely applaud you for. Every day it's showing what's going on in the shop, validates that you guys are handling high profile vehicles, and you can trust your shop with those vehicles, and you're also seeing the expansion. From a personal standpoint, I've seen your shop grow from. I haven't been to your new shop yet, but I've seen your old shop. You, I think, had 2 people at that point working for you.
In the old shop, I had one person, and that was actually
You might have been testing out the second person when I came in for the windshield.
The windshield. That was like what?
Not that long ago.
I believe it was a year later.
Yeah, it was a year later that I had the windshield.
Exactly.
wrapped.
So the first time when you came in, I had one person. I had one person at that time, and that was my first. I believe that was my first employee. My first official professional employee, I would say, that came in with experience. I had a person or 2 or maybe 3 before that. Just a helper, just like a shop, person that can help around.
Whatever,
exactly, yeah. But that was the very first one, and then that's how it started, pretty much. And now we're expanding.
Yeah,
We're growing.
how big is your new shop?
So the new shop is about 3.5 the previous shop.
So we're looking at 5,000.
It's 5,000
Okay.
square feet. The other one was 1,800, but we didn't have enough shop space.
It was overflowing with cars. It was good to see.
It was good, yeah. But yeah, the old shop. It was very tight. Shop space, we had about 1,100, and now we have over 3,500 in shop space. So
Awesome.
it's more than triple. So it's great. It's great.
So what's your favorite car to been brought in? Or because it's so much different to go from protective film versus full wrap.
Full wrap, yeah. So both of them are completely different products, and they both have their challenges.
Yeah, pros and cons for each
Pros and
material.
cons, exactly. Like if you bring me, I mean, depending on what your question is, my favorite is always the easiest one. Okay, that can get the vehicle. Yeah, get it. Teslas are my favorite. We get the vehicle, we get it installed, or we get it worked on, and the client is happy, and we make our money.
Is it so easy because it's pretty much like their designs are very much so like an egg.
Exactly. It's like it's like
smooth
a
surfaces.
soap bar.
Yeah, their door handles aren't like,
flush.
Yeah, they're
flush.
not cut in. You don't have to disassemble the door for that.
Yeah. It's just minimum disassembly. Flat panels requires less time, less prep.
There's no air ducts. The grill is just.
It's got a little bit where the fog lights, depending on where you're looking. Actually, I have a Model X in my shop right now, but it depends on where you're looking. Like the grill area, they have because it still has a radiator that cools the battery.
Okay, yeah.
So it needs some airflow. So it has where the fog lights in most of them. They have that, and that's pretty much the only challenging area. Other than that, the rear bumpers are flat on all of them. Doors, quarter panels. I mean, it's the easiest. We love Teslas.
Yeah.
Which one we like the least? It will be G-Wagons. G-Wagons, those are our least favorite cars to work on because they're very challenging.
They got a lot of sharp lines and.
Yes, there's a lot going on in that car.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're talking about. If you're doing vinyl wrapping is a lot more difficult than paint protection film. But it depends on who you're talking. If you're talking to a person that only knows vinyl wrapping, then vinyl wrapping is easy. But if you're talking to a PPF guy, then yes, that is easy. If you know both, then that's awesome because you can mix both of them. If you know how to tint is a mix between PPF and, I don't want to say vinyl, but PPF is a mix between tint and vinyl because it's clear, you can see what's behind,
and it has a little bit more give to it.
It has more give but less forgiveness as vinyl because it's clear and you see everything behind, and at the same time you're conforming that material to a three-dimensional surface. It comes in a sheet that is two-dimensional and you want to mold it to a three-dimensional surface, so you'll have that eye to kind of know the curves and the lines and where you need to start or where you need to end, or
where you're gonna get the air to escape. And
exactly,
because I guess for the audience base that isn't familiar with either or any three of the materials, PPF
paint protection film
is going to be the thickest of the three.
That's correct. Yep.
And then vinyl is going to be the thinnest.
Window tint is actually the thinnest.
Okay.
So window tint is between 1.5 to 2 mil.
Okay.
Vinyl is between 3.2 to 4.
So it's just the elastic properties of the vinyl that gives it that forgiveness rather than its thickness or thinness.
Yeah. So it's really different. Window tint does not stretch. Window tint shrinks.
Yeah.
It comes in from the box already pre-stretched. So if you're doing like a back window on any vehicle, most of them, they have a slight curve where you have to mold that film to the back of that window. So what you do with heat, you actually shrink the film, shrink it back to... it wants to shrink back to its original shape, and during that process you'll find that sweet spot where it already flattens out to that curvature of that window, and that's how you get 100% flat film on that curvy window, which it's not flat. It will become flat when it's laid down because it lays on it completely, but it's not flat because it's curvy. It's a lot of complex.
Yeah, it's flat, but it's not. It's a piece of glass. It's still, but it's also technically moving molecularly. glass is a weird one.
It is.
Our listeners are going to get a great value out of this podcast. Now they can be all professional.
Awesome.
Tint and vinyl. Let me ask you what your favorite car that just like your, I guess maybe the most high profile car that you have had in there, or the car that you have appreciated the most, not necessarily in terms of wrapping it, but just as a car itself that your favorite car that's come in?
Well, yeah, it could be a complete pain to wrap, but what's the...
My favorite car. That's a tough one. It should. I don't want to say it should be the most expensive one. My favorite ones will be, like I said, they're always the easiest ones. But I would say Porsches. Porsches are my favorite to work on. I mean, I don't want to say I'm lazy. I like challenges, but at the same time, Porsches are slightly challenging vehicles, but I love Porsches, so I really like working on them. And the higher end the Porsche, the more I'm into it.
Yeah, and the more it gets shared, and more clients coming in, word of mouth of.
Yes.
I mean, Porsche guys are hardcore.
Oh yeah. Corvette. You got Corvette people, and then you got Porsche people. So
Yeah,
those guys, you don't talk to them.
They got a different style going on though.
I want both. I want a Corvette and I want a Porsche.
mid-engine or front engine.
It's definitely gonna be a mid-engine.
White New Balances or slacks and slacks
I
and
don't know.
shorts?
I would go jean shorts and New Balances all day.
Yeah, just like a Corvette T-shirt all over, and I make sure I have a hat and a red framed sunglasses.
Exactly. I mean, like the new Corvette. You actually want the new Corvette? I mean, because you have a rad car right now.
Yeah, tell us a little about your car that you have right now. What brought the interest into it, and then if you're planning on changing that, and then which car you would be. I mean, without telling any secrets, if you want to keep it a surprise,
No, absolutely no. I'm very open about all that stuff. I've always wanted a Porsche. At the same time, I wanted the BMW E92 M3. So I wanted that one for a really long time, and then I really got into Porsches. So I liked Porsches. I could afford the E92, but I was like, no, let me wait a little bit so I can get a Porsche. And it just never worked out. The Porsches I was looking, what Porsches that I want, it's either GT3 or GT3 RS, and they're way out of my budget.
They're phenomenal cars, though.
Yes, they are.
Good targets.
Yes, but they're way out of my budget. And then I was like, okay, let me drop the target, or like lower my budget to find something that can fulfill my my interest. And I found a Porsche 911 Turbo. It was a 2007. It was around my price range, 75,000. It was at Planet Motor Cars here in Detroit. I looked at the car. I liked it a lot. At the same time, I'm just not into the turbo ones. So I just couldn't do it. I just wanted something more flashy, and something that is a little bit newer and more. I don't want to say that. I'm sure a lot of turbo guys will get mad at me, but more exciting to drive. I want something more responsive.
They're not very exciting to drive.
We could throw up a picture of it on the screen real quick, because I think you knocked it out of the park with a little bit flashy, with how you wrapped it and all that.
Yeah. You wanted a flashy car. You made your car very flashy.
So that's the one. I had that budget, and then I was just looking. It was really hard to find something. I really didn't want a Corvette. I love Corvettes, but I think they're everywhere, so I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I wanted something within that budget, and I've always liked the GT350R, the Shelby, and I was looking at those, and they were way more expensive. They were like asking $12,000-$15,000 over a sticker, and I really didn't want to pay
that much for
$12,000 to $15,000 over a sticker for something that's made 20 miles away from me.
Right.
Yeah.
I just couldn't justify that. And then at some point, I was at the shop. We had a vehicle came in scheduled, and it was a Camaro ZL1. And when I first saw the vehicle, I was like, "Wow, this is a good looking vehicle." And for what the owner did to that one, it was a normal ZL1, but he added the 1LE, which is a track package. He added it to that vehicle, which is satin black side skirts, front canards, a full front grille was replaced, and big wing, and it really really got my attention. And I was like, man, this is a good looking vehicle. I remember I've seen that vehicle with a camouflage wrap driving around, people leaking them with the manufacturer plates.
Oh, so this is before the actual ZL1 1LE came out, and he created it essentially?
No, actually, for the ZL1 1LE, it was out, but for some reason I had no idea that was available. I just didn't know. Maybe I was just
not paying attention.
I wasn't
working
looking
hard and
probably
Looking at Porsches.
maybe. So then I saw that car, and then I was like, man, this is a good looking vehicle, and I'm like, I can see myself being in that one. That was a 10-speed automatic, the one that came in, and I looked up online, and I was looking at the price. The price was very, very fair. It's really at my budget, and then I kept searching more, and doing more research about the performance as well, because I really wanted to see if that car is worth the money. Because Camaros, you can buy it for $25,000,
exactly.
and spending $50,000 more on a Camaro, it
wasn't making sense initially.
Exactly. So. But I just had the feeling that I was like, this is the right car, and everyone just talking positively about this vehicle, except the way it rides, which it rides really rough. But it makes sense to me because it's a track car, so it has to have like a really really stiff suspension.
It's not like a track inspired car. It's a track car.
It is.
You just get a reminder all the time on Detroit roads.
Yes.
You're like, I made a interesting purchase choice.
It was, and it happened really quick. Like, I was doing a lot of research. Like, I wasn't getting much done at the shop because I was really looking into that vehicle, just making sure I can understand it, and if I'm buying the right one. And I started contacting dealers and trying to get the best deal around. And the thing is, it's funny, like the period between the time I first saw that I don't want to say it's a fake ZL1 only, but the period between the time I saw that ZL1 and the time I purchased my vehicle was only 9 days.
Yeah.
So it was a really it was a quick decision. Like,
exactly.
And I bought the car.
Yes.
And I bought the car sight unseen. It was shipped from Kentucky because I couldn't find the one I wanted with the same. I would say what they call options. Local.
Yeah.
So I got this car from Kentucky. It was shipped right to my shop. Pulled it in, put a full stealth paint protection film, the sand finish, and it was a really exciting time. So
yeah, I mean that's a rad car. I mean, you rip it on the track. I mean, you're even now starting to put on these track events recently.
Yes, which you haven't showed up. Well, you didn't show up to my last.
Yeah, I booked and then had some scheduling issues.
Okay,
and,
makes sense.
Having a fiance, you got to deal with the family stuff, so to speak. But I will be coming to the one coming up.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
I already booked for that.
Oh, you did? Okay,
yeah,
great.
I booked for that I think before anyone, probably.
Really? Okay,
yeah,
that's great.
As soon as you put it out, I was like,
okay, great. I haven't been really watching who's booking because this time I posted about 3 months earlier, so I give people more time to book. So I'm really excited for the next one.
Yeah, I mean, for the audience, how about you give it a little description other than the fact that it's a pretty rad system of you seem to be renting out tracks and selling out a little slip time or usage over the weekend for kind of group camping and hanging out and ripping around the track.
Yeah. So the idea just came to my mind. From the first time I went to the track, I'm like, this is a really awesome time, and I'm missing out. And I see a lot of people with high performing vehicles that never been to the track, or even people who have normal daily driven cars. They never experienced a track. So I was like, let me just put this one out there to attract beginners or novice or first timers that never been to the track before to come in and actually experience it. And that was my intention. That was my goal.
Yeah.
I was working out like deals, checking out the tracks around, the ones I like, the ones I would go to. And it worked out. The first one we booked it. It was a great time, and a lot of friends came in, and a lot of random people that showed up. It was a great time. I had a lot of fun. I give people rides in my car, and it was awesome. The second one was great. We had a lot of people for the second one from, different states: Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin. So it was great to network with people that are. Not just the normal local people.
And that was on the first one. You had people from all sorts of other states coming.
The first one, we had a lot of people from the west side of Michigan, from Grand Rapids area.
Okay.
So we had a lot of people that showed up from that area, and Traverse City. The second one, we had a lot of people from Illinois, Wisconsin, and
The second one was
Indiana and Ohio.
at Gingerman's, correct?
The first one was Groton Raceway.
Yep.
The second one was Gingerman Raceway.
And the third one's going to be
Gingerman Raceway
Gingerman's
again.
again.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love Groton. Groton is my favorite track, but I just couldn't get it this year. The soonest available weekend they had when I was looking in January, it was in October.
Okay. Wow.
Like after the May weekend that I booked.
Yeah.
And October is always, it was actually late October. I think
Gingerman's
October
is a fun
21st.
track.
Gingerman is a safe, fun track.
Yeah.
We like how safe Gingerman is.
Well, it's got a lot of runoff areas.
Yes, it's very well designed for beginners, I would say.
Yeah.
Groton is a lot more technical, it's a lot more challenging. It's got tons of elevations. That's what I like about Groton is you can
rip it.
You can rip it. You can go, airborne at
I was
some
going to
point.
say, there's a corner where you go airborne and immediately you kind of land on the brakes on that one.
Yeah. I did it probably 60 times that day.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh,
break
wow.
the car.
You go through brakes?
I actually went through a whole set of brakes and a set of tires in that weekend because the entire time the track was open, the car was running, and I was driving the vehicle.
Wow.
It was like a full-time job, and I'm not sure if people or people that never been to or never driven a car on the track, doing like a 20-minute session is very
rough.
It's very exhausting. Like it's like a workout because the amount of focus
I mean, the best comparison is go-karting. They'll give you like 5 laps. I mean, like, or 5 sessions.
Yeah.
And like you're only lapping like 20 times.
True.
And you leave and you're like, well, I'm actually kind of tired.
you are. Yeah.
Sore the next day in the chest sometimes after go-karting.
Exactly.
No power
So
steering.
multiply that,
Multiply that by 8 hours, and exactly, I was doing that for the first time. It was about 7 hours. The second time I didn't do it for 8 hours. I did it till like 1:30, 2 p.m. and I was like, I'm done.
I mean,
some people are
eyes
bringing some
were, like,
pretty awesome
red.
camping rigs out there.
Oh yeah, we had some cool stuff, and we got some really fast cars. We had a 458, a friend of mine, and man, that guy was actually. I'll plug his channel. It's called Shelby Exotics, and he brought a bunch of cars. He brought a couple, track prep Shelby, a GT350R, a 458, a GT3 RS Porsche.
How big is this trailer?
It was multiple trail, and that was Groton Raceway. He lived like 4 minutes away from, or 4 miles away, I believe.
Lucky him.
Exactly, lucky him. So, and that guy was fast, man. I couldn't keep. I mean,
Well, he lived 5 miles away.
Yeah,
so-
I mean, I would be going there all the time. That's like being by the the ski mountain. You better know how to ski and ski very well.
True, but the thing is, like, what was really interesting is the 458. Those cars, you always see them like in front of like fancy restaurant or just cruise around,
Yeah.
cruise around the street, like down the street. You really don't see them,
Ripping the track.
doing like two wheelies on the track. And I mean, I had to let him pass
Fragile.
me. I had to let him pass me, and I can see the car. Like, I was distracted of me watching him coming from behind
Yeah, you're like,
me
oh, wow,
in the
this is a
rearview mirror.
good-looking
And like,
car.
yeah, and that guy was like keeping up and getting closer and closer. So I had to let him go, and then he was getting further and further. So I was distracted, just really. like I love the way it was performing. You don't see it around, so it was
it
awesome.
feels like I've driven one around Las Vegas Speedway.
Yeah.
Probably for a cumulative like 20 laps or so not too much time, but sizable amount of time for someone to have some random track experience with a Ferrari that wasn't theirs. And they're fun, but they feel like a well-built like timepiece to watch. They get the job done.
Yep.
They get it done well. It's elegant, but it might break if you push it too hard.
I'm not sure.
That guy clearly is proving that statement to push that line, but that's the way I felt when I ripped it, in contrast to because I did a Performante head-to-head with the 458.
Okay.
And perhaps it's because I'm used to the Huracan platform. I mean, the guy that was kind of like the coach, so to speak, the overseer, he just was like, hey, you said you have one, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, just keep going. Just keep going, because like I paid for 5 laps. He's like, just keep going. Nice. You're doing well. Doing well. And then I got in the Ferrari, and I was like, this is nice, but perhaps, again, not as familiar with it, but it just didn't feel as, like it was going to last as long on the track.
I think I know exactly what you're saying. I mean, we had a Performante on the track, and that thing was, I think Gabriella put like 100 miles each day on just that Performante. And it was a brand new vehicle. And I mean, when you watch that vehicle on the track, you'd be like, okay, it's a track piece. It's designed for the track. The 458 was just something. It was something different.
It was just pretty to look at going around.
Exactly. It
looks like a horse going through a horse show, kind of like. Yeah. It's like a good. It's like, oh, very nice. You're doing the thing that you're meant to do.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, there's not too much drama with them, but they certainly can step out when you want them to.
I didn't get into that vehicle. I didn't drive it. I didn't ride in it.
Yeah,
but I can see it. It was flying, and I had a few drivers with us that really know the track, and that Ferrari, everyone said, yeah, we had to let him go because that thing was moving. I mean, normally a road course, it's all about the driver, but if 2 experienced drivers, hop in, the same car or different cars, each car will perform a different way, and you can tell which one can do a better job, and that thing was impressive.
Yeah, I mean, so it sounds like that Ferrari and the Performante were probably like the two coolest cars that have come to the event, or high-end exotic.
Exotics.
There might be a few other cool race car builds.
I think the Performante was the Performante. We got a GT3 RS. I mean, those are like
track weapons.
Yeah, track weapons, and we had some really, track prepped ready, Mustang, which they. My friend has that. They have actually a couple of them because they build them and they bring them to the track and they test them. Yeah. And those are way faster than the Performante and way faster than the Ferrari because they have nothing. The interior is all stripped, full slicks, full racing brakes. Everything is just ready for the track. Yeah. So it's a lot less weight, more downforce, and they got plenty of power. Yeah.
I mean, if I had my V8 Miata corner balanced and full caged ready to go, because right now it's in that good street car build phase. But after acknowledging that it's still it breaks loose in 3rd gear, just cruising. So it needs a full cage. It's got carbon fiber doors. I mean, it needs door bars to start with. I mean. Okay. So I'm trying to get that done before the track day. We have less than 40 days, I feel like.
Actually, you're right. It's September the 14th and 15th. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Time is flying, man.
So it's like, I might get that done, or more than likely I'll probably just bring the Huracan.
Okay. I mean, both of them will be fun. I think the Miata will be a lot more fun, and it'll be, you'll probably be able to push it a little bit harder because if something happens or you go off the track, you won't be you won't feel bad.
I'll be bummed. I mean, that you haven't seen my V8 Miata. I mean, that thing is full tubular control arms, tubular subframe, LS3 crate motor, 256. I mean, it's like a mini Corvette or CTSV. I mean,
Nice.
it even has a CTSV differential.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, we have a really good group of cars coming into the next track event, so I think that will be cool. We got some really fast Corvettes, really fast Miatas, really fast Porsches. That's from what I know. We had a lot of people. We have, I believe, so far we have like 60 or 70 people already signed up. So
You're gonna do one this fall, or this gonna be it for this season?
I think there's gonna be the last one. Next year I'll try to book Groton more. I'll see if I can get 2 or 3 weekends. I'll try to get Mid Ohio if I can, and I'll definitely be doing Gingerman, maybe 2 or 3. So I mean, this year we did. With the next one coming up, that'll be 3. Next year I'll probably do like 6 to 9. I don't know. We'll see. I like to enjoy my car, and I like to bring in people around and just enjoy.
It's good branding for the company.
It's good branding. It helps, and I enjoy it. I have fun. I let people drive my car, and I drive my own car. Give them rides. A lot of people have more fun riding with me. If they make it alive after that, or they don't go straight up to the bathroom, because it happened a lot. But it's a lot of fun. So I'm excited for the next coming up one and next year's events.
Awesome.
So I got a question to ask you about a specific video on your Instagram.
Sure.
If you scroll down a little bit, the bottle cap challenge.
Oh, the bottle kick. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
So where'd you learn to kick like that?
Oh man, it just happened.
That's impressive. It's all of them are impressive, but I mean,
I had no idea that thing was going on. Juan is pretty much a general manager at the shop, and his friend or my friend Oscar were just hanging out. It was like around 11 p.m. He was like, "Oh, hey, watch this, bottle cap challenge," and I was like, "Wow, this is really cool." And it was an animated video of it looks like a McLaren that hit like a whiskey or like a beer.
Oh, I think I may have seen it.
Yeah, so it's a fake video, but it looks so cool.
Oh, the purple McLaren going around with the champagne bottle.
Yes, that thing went viral, and it was a really, really cool video, very well done. And I was like, man, this is cool. And then he kept showing me more and more. I'm like, wait.
Baldwin did one with his off-road truck. Did you see that?
Yep, I saw that one. So I was like, is this like a thing going on? It's like remember the ice bucket challenge that happened like 5 years ago? Yeah, so it kind of like went viral for maybe 2 weeks, and everybody forgot about it. And I was like, okay, this is cool. Let me just try it out. The first one. Actually, we were trying it with a Nutella jar. That was the first one. And then we kept trying it over and over and over and over, and it just didn't work out. The Nutella jar just was a little bit more grippy to open because it got more friction. It just doesn't,
more surface area.
And we found out that I was actually doing it the wrong way, which I was tightening the cap instead of
you were reducing your chances every time you kicked it.
Yes, it took like 40 minutes. I'm like, why this thing is not working? I was hitting it right, but the cap is just not coming off. Yeah. So I ended up using the other foot where I have to spin the other way. Yeah. And I had my knee worked out before, so I just didn't want to risk injuring that knee.
It's also. A spinning back kick can be awkward going if you're not going your dominant direction.
Yes.
So. And
so I was like, I really don't want to risk it, but I'm just gonna go for it. So we switched to this bottle. It was a lot easier. I think it was a Gatorade bottle that we found laying around. We made sure no cars were around the shop, so we don't damage anything.
It's a good little ad.
Yeah, and then I did it. I think this happened after the third or the fourth one. We had issues with really timing the slow-mo with the video. Yeah. So it just didn't work out in the beginning.
Solid 2 hours spent on getting a 15-second clip.
Yeah. Yep. And then I got it done. So it was really really
Speaking
cool.
of clips, are you still looking for a videographer and editor? I mean, good opportunity if someone's made it to this point of listening to you talk. I mean, if
I would love to have Christian, but Christian is too busy. I actually already got
He's got expensive taste.
I know he is, so I don't know if I can afford them now, but Sometimes in the future. I already got one.
Awesome.
He comes in. Yeah, he comes in. He's pretty much full time. You know how it goes with the editing.
Yeah.
There's so much going on in the shop, and there's so many projects, and it's hard for the videographer to keep up with all the projects because you got to take a shot in here, a shot in here, a shot in here, a shot, and they're all like 5 different projects.
They're like, this is a weird narrative to try to film.
Yes, and there's a lot of clips, and you got to make sure this clip goes to that video. So I believe he's having some hard time figuring that out, but I believe we got a few videos so far, and he's gonna get there.
So this is all going to your YouTube page, or is this for like Facebook marketing?
So I want to have this kind of content just going all the time, everywhere. So we'll have. We haven't actually posted on YouTube for a really long time. Facebook, that one is more active. So we posted pretty much everything on Facebook, and we need to post it on YouTube. And we have some clips that will be posted on Instagram that are like between 30 seconds to 60-second videos that will be posted there. Maybe the same projects that will be shortened up to match Instagram's video length. Or maybe we'll just make specific projects or specific videos that for just Instagram.
Try to go viral with teenagers on TikTok.
Yes. So we're trying.
We have our own in-house TikToker.
Yes,
who's not here today.
So yeah, it's great, and I want to get the name out because that's how I started. I started with social media. Yes, a handshake or a personal connection is always great, but in today's day and age, I mean, social media is number one, and you have to. I don't compete. I like to dominate, and I like to be the best out there. And I like to have the most content with the most videos and the most. It's more diverse and different. It's more.
You want to, build the most full encompassing brand that shows the shop, the personality behind it.
Yes.
And just some of the fun.
Yep. So we're working on that, and we're excited. We'll see. We just posted maybe 2 or 3 videos so far, and we're getting there. A lot of stuff are getting edited, and how long it takes to do the editing. So that's,
it's gonna be quite the process. I mean, we're gonna be boosting up this room to multicam soon.
Nice.
And that's gonna be an interesting process of getting everything cued and marked and jump shots and all that. But I guess to sum it up before we wrap up. Any kind of final thoughts that you would like to share, tips or tricks, or the goods or the bads, whatever, about entrepreneurship, starting your own business, kind of anything that you want to share with the audience base that would be thinking about starting their own business?
Yeah, so if you want to start your own business, you always got to do the research and do a ton of research. I did not really do a lot of research. I just went for it. Because I had no idea that's what I was doing. But if you have an idea and you want to do it, you got to do the research, and you got to look not the first page on Google, you got to look 10 pages on Google, back, and see what's out there.
What the competition is.
What the competition is. I mean, it depends on what kind of product you want to service. You really want to do a lot of research, but you need to keep in mind that you need to sacrifice. And for the past, or I would say since I started or registered my LLC, I would say, I'll take that back. Since I dropped out of college until today, I haven't had a day off. So it's been nonstop, 24/7, and I think it's gonna stay like this for a pretty long time because that's the way it is. And I gotta make sure.
It's hard to hand it off to someone else and check out.
Yeah, so you gotta do it all. I mean, especially in the beginning, you gotta save some time or save some money because you'll have the time, but you want money. You want to make sure you'll outperform, everyone, and just go for it. That's the way I do it. I mean, same thing with the track events. Bringing it up as an example. It wasn't something that I wanted to do as to make money. I just wanted to do it, and because I enjoy it. And the first time we did it, we didn't make money. The second time we didn't. The third one, if I break even, I'm good. If I don't, I'm fine with it. Because I already have my my business, and it's at a pretty solid shape. So,
and again, for brand image, it certainly might be worth that investment.
It helps. It definitely helps.
Good content all around.
Yep, all
whether
around.
it's yours or someone else's, it's here at the track with midnight tints.
Yep.
Events.
Chad M5.
Chad M5. Yeah. It's
so do you still have the M5?
No, no. It's funny. It's funny. The name it's just stuck right now, and I just can't change it anymore. I mean, I can.
But someone would go to type in your name on Facebook and
find you. It's so tough right now. I'm it's too late, but at the same time it's too early still. Because think about it, 30 years from now, I mean, I've only had the M5 name for probably the past 4 years, but 40 years from now, I'll know more people, or more people will know me or know the name, and that's going to be really hard to change. Same thing with the company name, because I changed the company from Midnight Tint and Vinyl to Midnight Protective Films, because I just didn't want to be specific, just tint and vinyl. I want to kind of make it more broad, which is protective films. It could be like window tint, vinyl wrapping, paint protection film, ceramic coating. Everything could be a protective film. So I changed it, and I thought it was late, but at the same time it was very early, because I look at it long term, and that's the way I do it.
Yeah, it's not like you're just in this game for being here for a few years. You intend on growing your business and making it something that's going to stay around.
Yes, and I have to. If I'm spending that much time standing behind the company, and
yeah, I mean, it's been your life for.
It's been. I don't see friends. I don't see family. I mean, my parents live about 30 minutes away from my house. I haven't seen them in probably a month and a half. Every time I want to, I haven't visited them. They've visited me 2 times, I believe. But it's just been so busy, like nonstop, like Saturday, Sunday. Like if I'm not working at the shop, I'm out there just trying to network with people.
Car events. I mean, I watch your story. You'll be in the shop till 2 or 3 in the morning, and then be at Cars and Coffee.
Yep. Every I'm at the shop till that time, till at least midnight every single day.
Midnight.
Right
Midnight
now
Protective Films.
Exactly. Right now it's like 9 p.m. and I'll go back to the shop later today. I just finish up the work that we have, and if we have something going on, if it's an event, I'll try to attend that or finish the work that I have before the night or the night before, and then attend that event. Go back to the shop and make sure everything is rolling.
Awesome. And so I guess with that being said, we don't want to take up too much of your time, and Christian, I thank you. And is there any place that you want to have any viewers or audience base jump to? Would you want to plug anything?
Give us the
plug. So I'll just plug my company. It's midnightprotectivefilms.com, or that's the website. You can check it out. We have it on Facebook. You can search it up. Midnight Protective Films. Instagram, same thing. YouTube, I believe we have it. Midnight Protective Films. Maybe it's Midnight Tint and Vinyl. I am not 100% sure.
Midnight Protection Films. Protective Films.
Protective Films. There we go. We definitely need to grow that page or that account. Slowly, we'll get there.
You definitely got some good content here, though. I've looked through, and you've got plenty of videos just as a base. So
yeah.
Good to work off of.
They help. Actually, a lot of people ask me, or they tell me, "Hey, we watch your videos, and they're like, we like the work." Or they go to a website, they watch the video, and they say, "Okay, we want to do business with you because you're investing the money and the time to showcase your product." And
you're not hiding behind anything.
No,
I mean, you're showing your shop, you're showing what you're doing, and I mean, often, I mean, even I as a client, I dropped my car off, and I was able to pretty much watch the process happen through the company's story on their Instagram.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. We try to keep everything more active. It's just been a little bit difficult of how many projects we have going on, and
the move
keeping exactly. But we'll soon enough we'll become more active, leaving a lot of short clips or videos on the stories. We don't want to be too annoying, but at the same time we want to make it. We want to have the fair amount of videos or content on the stories, just so people can keep up either with their vehicles that they have dropped off to our shop, or the other client, audience that they can just go.
You might be inspiring the next generation of people working on their own cars. I mean, seeing your stories, I mean, you're going to probably inspire the next person to be doing window tint in the freezing Michigan cold.
Yeah, I don't have any issues. A lot of people ask me about tricks and tips, and I don't have any issues sharing anything. And if I see someone that has a potential, I'm going to recruit that person. And that's been pretty much my number one mission right now, is just building a solid, obsessed team. It's been my biggest challenge, and
getting good workers and people that love what they do can be a real challenge.
It's very, very tough, especially. I mean, I would say in every business, but in my business or my industry, you really need someone with. I would say someone that is obsessed, and someone that has the eye, someone that likes cars, and someone that is pretty much has the artist
the artist approach
exactly,
and carefulness and delicacy.
Yep.
Somebody who strives for protection or perfection, or somebody who, I guess, strives for protection.
That is true. So that's what I'm doing right now. I just, everywhere I go, if I see someone that I think that person will be a great, a great employee or a great worker, I'll recruit that person, and that's just been my number one prior mission. And last year we had, I think, 3 or 4, and now we're at 10. And I want to keep adding more people. And of course, I'll need to add more space, because before I had limited space, so I was only able to add so many people, and now I have more space. Now I need to fill that space in with people.
Yeah.
We have the projects; they're there, but we need the people to work on them. And I have to train people how to do things my way. I have to invest in people to get things done my way. So when a client comes in, bring in a vehicle, they should not tell, or they shouldn't be able to tell who worked on their vehicle.
Yeah, it should be a seamless process of your brand of. This is the quality that you would expect at Midnight Tint.
That's how.
Or Midnight Protective.
It's hard, man. It's been really difficult. Nobody can. I mean, except very new people that
are coming into it with the new name.
Yeah, they can catch up on it, or they know it. But people that have known the name, in the past, it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, with that being said. Go follow Chad and his guys over at Midnight Protective Films and Solutions.
Well, films. That's
films.
Protective.
The films.
Film Solution. That's a different company.
Yes, my apologies.
It's a great company.
Yeah.
I know the owner personally, and
so Midnight.
He definitely inspires
Midnight Protective.
Midnight Protective Films. Yeah.
So, thank you for listening. Thank you for coming, Chad.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, no problem at all. And you're obviously welcome to come back anytime.
Sure, yeah, we should do. I'm sure we have a lot of talk to do. I don't know. It feels like it's too early now, but I'm sure we can open more subject down the road.
Exactly.
We'll have another podcast.
These podcasts seem to do pretty well with 45 minutes to an hour.
That's good. I don't know how long it's been. It feels
an
like
hour
it's
and
been
4
9
minutes.
minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. We sat down and thought we had maybe 45 minutes and had 2 hours on one, and it was
Who's gonna listen to that?
Yeah, exactly.
We're in the garage phase right now.
Yeah,
That's
we're
great.
definitely we're in that garage
That's
phase.
why I'm here, man.
Yeah,
That's why I'm here. I gotta support. Yeah, I'll ask around who would be in your podcast. I know you want some people that are in the same. They have the same vision and they are open minded, or they are openly minded and they want to share their opinions. And yeah, I'll help with that as well.
That is much appreciated.
Yeah,
Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you, and thank you as the audience base and listener base, viewer base. Awesome, and thanks for listening.
Thank you.